Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here for Black Ink Crew Chicago, Season 3, Episode 4. We picked up right where we left off from last week, with Kat coming back and coming into the commotion of everybody arguing and everything. She's confused as fuck. She didn't realize things were this bad between the crew or whatever. But she lets them know, hey, I got a lake house for us or whatever, and you guys have 24 hours to decide whether you want to go or not and possibly rip each other's heads off in the process. I was like, damn, that's not enough, notice or whatever for motherfuckers to decide some shit like that. But, whatever. So, moving on, we have Don and Ashley. They're at church or whatever, yet again. And, when the pastor at the end of the sermon, be asking, like, who wants to get saved and all this other stuff. And they tell them to come up to the front and yada, yada, yada. So, when he did that, Ashley, she's looking at Don like, go up there, nigga. She's saying in her confessional, like, come on, Don, this is your moment or whatever. And he goes up there and everything, he talks about the violence that he saw in his household and everything. And, that's another element, I guess, to like his anger issues or whatever. But I hope that he did that because he really wanted to do it, because it's nothing worse than somebody forcing you to like do something that you don't want to do, especially when it comes to religion. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that he genuinely wanted to do it because he wanted to do it and not because of Ashley. But anyway, so then we have Kat and Danielle. They're chilling or whatever, I guess, at Kat's dad's house or something like that. And they get some flowers delivered at the door or whatever. Kat is thinking that, her guy Zach back in LA sent them or whatever, until she reads the card, and the card says, Katrina, I'm really sorry for, the way things ended between us, and, I always care for you, and it's from Ford. And Katrina, she's like, like, what the hell? Like, why would he send these, this, that, and the third? Especially, send me 2 dozen red roses. You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't he send white roses? Because you guys know red roses mean like relationship and all that other stuff. White roses mean friendship. You know what I'm saying? And she decides that she's going to return these flowers because she's not with this shit that he's, that she thinks he's trying to pull or whatever. So we get to the lake house trip. Van, Charmaine, Danielle, and Kat, they're in one van. And Ryan, I believe, Ford Jr. and what's the girl name? Cobra, they're in another van. And I think Don met them up there or something like that. So, anyways, Charmaine, she's, being dramatic, claiming that she still got PTSD from Cobra, stealing her glasses. And, like, still to this day, we don't really know if she did steal her glasses or not. So it's just like, I mean, just let the shit go. You know what I'm saying? Charmaine, Danielle, Van, and Kat, they arrive at the lake house first. And, Charmaine is telling us that she has an event the next day for her radio station, so she's not going to turn up too much, at least so she thought, okay? And then, everybody else, they show up and everything. Cobra, she already is kind of feeling like the negative energy, because soon as they came in, immediately the energy kind of like changed a little bit. Cobra, she's not sure about all of this and everything, and mainly because of Charmaine and Van. You know what I'm saying? And Charmaine is already throwing shade the minute that they get there. She's like, I didn't know that like Cobra was going to be here and all this other stuff. And she's saying my only issue with Cobra is that she owes me money and blase blase. Cobra, she's hearing this and she just goes outside. And she starts crying. Talking to her dad and stuff like that. Because you guys know her dad. We found out the last episode her dad passed away that month before or whatever. So she's talking to her dad and she just feels so alone or whatever. And you know Charmaine is asking Ryan, like, why did you bring Cobra back or whatever, this, that, and the third? And Ryan is like, look, I ain't know that shit was gonna go down between y'all. I ain't intend for that shit to happen. But but y'all didn't give her a fair shot when she first came here or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, y'all. I keep on getting lost in my notes. Yeah, so he's saying, yeah, they didn't give her a fair shot or whatever, and she's been going through it lately. And Charmaine is like what or whatever. And Ryan's like, man, I mean, she just lost her dad like a month ago. You know what I'm saying? And he was all she had. You know what I mean? And I, wanted her to come to Chicago in the first place because she didn't really have nobody where she was living at or whatever. I wanted her to come here and to do work and get to know people and everything, this, that, and the third. And Charmaine, that's when she starts feeling bad or whatever. And she's like, because I'm a daddy's girl and I can't, imagine losing my dad and, how I would feel and all this other stuff. So then Charmaine goes outside to see if Cobra is okay or whatever. I felt so sad for Cobra because, I mean, it's very hard, losing somebody close to you. I actually kind of teared up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm still having a hard time, with the fact that my granddad is gone. You guys know he passed away earlier this year, and I'm still having a hard time with that. And so I totally understand, and I'm gonna get off of that before I start tearing up. But yeah, so I really did feel bad for her in this moment. But like I said, Charmaine goes outside, to see if she's okay. She apologizes to her or whatever. She was like, all that beef that we had, that shit is dead. You know what I'm saying? They hug and everything. And Cobra is telling her, like, I don't want to fight with you or whatever. I don't want it to be no beef or nothing like that. And Cobra is like, look, I brought you matching Ray-Bans or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because of that petty shit that we went through with the shades and everything. Charmaine, she feels even more like an asshole now. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't have treated her the way you treated her. So you should feel like an asshole, okay? But yeah, so now they're good and everything. Everybody's, turning up. Next thing you know, Ryan, he's in the bathroom taking the shit or whatever. Charmaine busts in on him and is like, oh, you need to talk to Van and Danielle or whatever. If me and Cobra can make up, y'all can make up. And Ryan like, all right, I'll talk to them. As soon as I get off this toilet, I'll talk to them. And I'm just like, damn, Charmaine, you really have to see. That's why you gotta lock doors around motherfuckers, especially when they, motherfuckers start drinking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because people is liable to just bust in on you like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was just like, girl, why is you just coming up in here on him like that? Why he taking the good shit? I'm, probably broke his concentration and everything. Ooh, okay, let me get back to it. So, he promises that he'll talk to them, soon as he like, are you gonna wipe my ass or can I wipe my own ass? And she's like, I'll let you wipe your ass or whatever. You need some damn Febreze in there. But you surely was talking to him for like a good minute about him having a conversation with Van and Danielle while you talking about he needs some Febreze. I'm just saying. But anyway, so then we get Nikki, Jen, and Ashley. They're having girl time, and you guys, just in case you guys don't know or don't remember, Jen is, Van's girl. Um, they're having girl time or whatever, and Nikki gets the roses that Four sent to Kat. So Kat sent the roses to where Nikki was at and everything. And Ashley is like, "Ooh, girl, let me read it, and everything." And Ashley is looking confused, like, is my eyes deceiving me right now?" So then, Nikki, she reads, the note out loud or whatever, and realizes that it was sent to Kat and everything. She's pissed off. She's over it. So back at the lake house, Four, he's trying to play footsies in the hot tub with Kat or whatever, and he's asking her, did you get my flowers or whatever? And she's like, yeah, I got your weak ass flowers. Why did you send them or whatever? And he's like, because I wanted to make things better. Kat is like, she's not buying the bullshit because, she's like, I don't need 2 dozen roses, for us to make up. Like, me and you are good at this point. I didn't need all that extra shit. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, Charmaine's still trying to claim that she not going to turn up too much. She's trying to pace herself on the drinks and everything. But yes, she keeps on drinking and drinking. When she was supposed to have Ben sleep. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, she got a puke or whatever. She knocks on the bathroom door. And, Katrina and Ryan, they're in the bathroom together and the shower is on. And, Ryan is like, who's that at the door, Kat, or whatever. And I'm just like, the fuck is going on here? Like, Ryan, didn't you just get Rachel back? I mean, yeah, I don't know what was going on with that. I guess we're going to find out next week or whenever, but yeah, that did not look too good at all. So the next day, Kat and Ryan, they're, outside or whatever. Kat is having like this private conversation with Ryan, and he's like, you still mic'd up or whatever, right? And she's like, yeah. She's like, do you think they saw anything last night? And he's like, no, like you doing too much, like you overthinking or whatever. So next thing you know, Johnny, he's calling Charmaine or whatever, and blowing her phone up. She overslept. And, Danielle comes in the room like, girl, Johnny is calling you, right? Or whatever, this, that, and the third. She's an hour late. He left the voicemail or whatever, pretty much cursing her out and everything. And, Danielle's like, girl, you don't remember, like, me and Kat trying to put you in your bed or whatever, and you refused to get in it and everything. And, yeah. Charmaine lost her job pretty much, which we find out later on in the episode. So anyways, Van, he comes up to Cobra or whatever, making a little joke about her, being clean or whatever. You guys remember last season, she was very particular about keeping the shop clean and stuff like that. So he kind of made a little joke or whatever as she was washing dishes. And Cobra is confused because she doesn't know if this is like a setup for some bullshit or what. You know what I'm saying? But he wants to make amends. He's saying, look, I just felt blindsided, you know what I'm saying? Because Ryan didn't tell me shit, which really he didn't have to tell you a motherfucking thing. But, he felt blindsided. Had he known that Cobra was coming to the Chi, to work or whatever, he would have welcomed her with open arms and everything. And he apologizes, for being like verbally abusive to her, because he has a daughter and he would not want no man to talk to his daughter the way, he talked to Cobra. So they hug it out or whatever. And, he brings up, him knowing about her dad passing, and, then he tells about his uncle passing and everything. And they both pretty much talk about how life is too short and all this other stuff. And they hug it out. And she knows that he brought like his tattoo equipment, so she's like, can you do a tattoo for me in honor of my dad? So he does it. She likes it. It's cool. So then we have Nikki, Jen, and Ashley. Pretty much they have the address to the cabin because to do not Ashley. So Nikki could do a pop-up on 4 or whatever. Ashley, she snooped through, Don's email or whatever and found, the location to, their cabin or whatever. I'm like, oh, you could find that, but you didn't know your man was creeping around on you. Well, I'm just putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm right. So, anyways, okay, where am I at? Okay, so back at the cabin, Kat, she presents this idea of, boxing, everybody getting their frustrations out on on one another or whatever. In the midst of this, Charmaine, she comes back. She tells them that she was fired. She was 3 hours late or whatever. And, yeah, that was that. So, 4 and Don, they go first. I guess to kind of just break the ice because, I mean, these brothers, they don't have issues with one another, So, they go first or whatever, I guess, like I said, just for play. Then we have Ryan versus Van. They going at each other or whatever, and then once they're done, they pretty much hug it out and everything, And Ryan is like, look, me and Van from the streets, this is how we do it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, shit, if that's the case, that's what y'all should have did from the motherfucking Jump Street. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, but anyway, so, if it was that fucking simple, like, but anyways, Charmaine, she puts on the boxing gloves and she's playing around with Don or whatever. And next thing you know, Nikki and, Jen and Ashley, they're approaching or whatever, approaching the cabin. Then Nikki, she comes out of nowhere with the flowers, hitting 4 with the flowers or whatever. The next thing you know, Ashley starts to pop off on Don. And I'm just like, really? She's popping off on Don because Don got his shirt off in front of all the girls or whatever. And Don is like, I was boxing, like, hello, when people box, they have their shirts off. And Ashley's not trying to hear him at first. He takes her into the back room. Don handled this real well because I'm not going to lie, I probably would have went ape shit had it been me. Okay. But, he handled it real well. I said, okay, progressing. The progression is coming very quickly for Donna. I would clap for him, but I have my phone in one hand and this tablet in the other hand, so I'm internally clapping for you, Don, because you handled this well. He takes her into the other room and he's talking to her calmly, explaining the situation or whatever. So, she calms down and, he understands, like, look, I know my past indiscretions have caused you to, be like this and everything, but can you just trust me sometimes or whatever? So she agrees to it as long as he respects her and, blase. So they squash it. So, Nikki is asking Kat, she's like, why did you send the flowers back or whatever? And Kat is like, bitch, because I didn't want them. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And Nikki is like, well, you could have threw them in the trash or whatever. I feel like you're taking shots. And, do y'all feel like Kat was taking shots? I can see how Nikki would feel that way. I can't see it, but at the same time, I feel like, shit, Kat showing you what the fuck for. 4 has been kind of shiesty from the motherfucking Jump Street because he was talking to you and Kat at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so she's showing you that, 4 is still kind of, or at least is coming off like as if he's still up, on the bullshit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, on one hand, I understand Nikki being upset. She had a right to be upset, but I felt like she just overkilled the shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I can't see me showing up to wherever my man is at and just going above and beyond the way she did, because I feel like I'd be embarrassing and embarrassing my motherfucking self. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she she's asking Kat, why are you even back or whatever? And Kat is like, because I can't be. Like, what the fuck? These are my motherfucking friends. You know what I'm saying? And Nikki, she popping off mad hard, talking about something. This ain't gonna be no big happy family, and yada yada yada. Like she was just screaming. Spit was probably flying in the process of her screaming. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying to myself, well, damn, do Nikki and Kat need to be the next ones boxing each other or whatever? But no, they probably would. It probably really would be a hospital situation, and them two was to start boxing. Okay, so anyways, Nikki starts to throw the flowers at Kat and shit or whatever. You know, Nikki, she dragging floor. She's dragging four up the stairs or whatever and talking about some, just know any event y'all have from now on, I'm a pop up or whatever because I'm his other half and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, girl, he didn't even put a ring on it. Like, what? Like, you just doing the absolute most. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, she claims that she knows the dick that Kat's been sucking and all this other bullshit. And I'm just like, this is just doing the absolute most. But that pretty much was it, y'all. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys come back. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.